This is Mrs. Clark, and today I'm going to show you how to code this pixel art Kinara so that you can write your own questions. And as people answer your questions, if they get them correct, this image will start to pull up pixel by pixel, creating the final design. Let me show you an example of what I'm talking about. This is a different design, but as people put the right number in the answer box, the picture appears a little bit at a time, eventually revealing a final design. We are going to do that with our Kinara, and you can get this template just like this if you click on the link in the description, or you can make your own pixel art, and this video will just show you how to code in general so you can follow along. You just want to make sure that whatever picture you want to do, you already have it. If you want to change any colors or anything like that, do it ahead of time, and then once it's ready, we can start coding. The next step is to write your own questions and answer them. So I already wrote some of my questions, and to type in these boxes, you just click and type like this. Click and type, and you want to make sure that they're very straightforward questions that only have one answer and they're not open to interpretation. So go ahead and pause the video, write out your questions, and then we'll start coding. All right, I forgot to mention too, there's one more question right down there. It's kind of sneaky, so don't forget that one. We're going to start coding now, and this is the formula that we're going to use, and I'll explain what it means, but I do suggest writing it down. The formula is equals $column, $row equals answer. We're coding these boxes only, just the answer boxes. So this first part of the code, the $column, $row, that's where you tell the computer the column and row of the box that you're coding so it knows which one you're coding. So the column for this 9 box here is B. That's the column that these are in. And this one is in column AC. So for that part of the code, I'm just telling the computer this is column B. And then the row, we look over here. This is technically in rows 4, 5, 6, and 7, but for the code, you just use the first row it's in, which is 4. So that's what the first part of this code is. I'm going to tell the computer that it's in column B and row 4. And then I'm going to tell the computer what answer someone else has to type in order for the code to activate. For me, it's 9 because 3 times 3 is 9, and you'll write in whatever your answer is. So for example, when I code this box, the code I'm going to write in is equals $B, $4 equals 9. Once I get down to this one, the column is still B, but the row is 8, and my answer is 20. So I'm going to type in equals $B, $8 equals 20. That's the code. It's very simple, and the only other element to it then is that I'm also going to tell the computer what color I want to use. This design has 10, yes, it has 10 colors, and I made 10 questions. So I'm just going to do one color per question. So I'm going to go ahead and get started and show you how to do it. First, let's pick a color. I'm going to start with the yellow. I always like to find it up here so I know where that yellow is located, so that when I have to find it later, I know where it is. Okay, now I'm going to click on the box I'm coding, which is the answer box. And I'm going to open up the conditional formatting window. To do that, click on Format. If you don't have this window, click here. Come down to Conditional Formatting, and here's the window we'll be using. You can see that it's already starting to apply something to that box I had selected. So I'm going to tell the computer what color I want it to turn, which is that yellow I was just looking at. Next, I'm going to write the code. Come here where it says Format Cells If, and click on this. Come to the very last one, Custom Formula Is. Now I'm going to write out that code telling the computer the column and row of that box, and that someone would need to type in a 9 in order for this code to work. Equals $B, $4 equals 9. You're going to put whatever your answer was there. If it's a number, just put it in just like I did. If it's a word, you have to put it in quotes. Now, technically my code is finished. It's coded so that if there's nothing in it or a different number like that, it stays white, but that if you put a 9 in it, it turns yellow. That's what I wanted to do. But I also obviously want to pull along the yellows from the Kinara too. That's what this top part is for. I still have that box selected, and I'm going to add the other boxes to it. So I clicked on this. This window pops up, slide it over. I'm going to hold down the Control button, or if you're on a Mac, hold down Command. And then I'm going to start clicking on all of the other yellows that I want to add to the code. The reason I'm holding down Control is because Control lets me click on new pixels without losing the ones I already clicked on. So I'm able to collect a group of them like this. There we go. If you accidentally click on one you didn't mean to, like that, you can just click on it again. So I have selected all the yellows, including that 9 box, which is good that it's still selected. I'm going to take my finger off of Control, and now I need to do 3 steps. I need to first say I'm okay with the range. These are all the pixels I just clicked on. So hit OK. Next, I say that I'm done with the code. The last step is very important. I need to come up to this paint bucket and click Reset. Otherwise, those pixels will stay yellow forever no matter what. So take it off like that. Now I'm going to test it. Click on that 9 box and hit backspace or delete, and the yellow disappears. Click on it and put your answer back in, click off of it, and it reappears. I am going to take the 9 out so that I don't get confused about what I have and haven't coded. Next box, I'm going to do the black. And I don't necessarily need help finding where the black is, but it's a good habit to always click on that color first and just make sure you can see it. Coming back to this box. Now, this window is still pulled up, and you can see that if you click here, there's the code we wrote for that box. And if you click here, there isn't anything because we haven't coded it yet. We're going to click on Add Another Rule. Come down to the bottom, and we're going to pick the color we want it to turn. I also like to change the font for this one because we can't see it anymore. There we go. Now we're going to write our code. So come all the way down to Custom Formula Is, and here we're going to tell the computer, again, the column and the row of that black box. And we want it to turn, or we want it to be the number 20, and you'll put whatever your answer is. All right, that box is coded. Now I just need to bring along the black pixels from the design. So I'm going to hold down Control and click. And if you're doing a bunch in a row, I'm going to click and drag so I can select these all at once. Click on that one. Taking my finger off Control, and I'm going to do my 3 steps. Hit OK, done, reset. Now test it. Click on it, delete, answer these 2, and you should have your full design. There we go. We're going to keep going. I'm going to do 2 more, and then the next 2 are words, so we'll put them in quotation marks. Let's do this darkest brown. Click on it so we can see where it's located. Okay, so it is under custom colors 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, or just the darkest one in there. Clicking on the box I actually want to code. I never want to write the code for these. I want to write the code for these. Come over here and click Add Another Rule, and then I'm going to find that color that I was just looking at. Click here and we'll write our code, telling the computer the column and row of that box, B and 12, and then I'm going to write in what I need someone else to answer, because that's the answer to my question. But notice that it turned white over there because the code is wrong. I have to put it in quotes because Denver is a word. Now it works. Okay, now I'm going to apply to range and select all of the dark brown that's in the design. Holding down Control or Command so you don't lose that Denver box. And selecting all of this shade, taking my finger off Control, do my 3 steps, hit OK, done, and reset. Now I'm going to code my next box. I'll do the dark green this time. I'm going to click on it and make sure I can find it. Third one in on custom. Great. Now I want to make sure I click on the box I'm actually coding, which is the Mercury box. And I'll click add another rule. I'm going to pick the color I want it to turn. Then I will write my code. Equals $B, $16. And for me, it needs to equal Mercury because that's the answer to my question. Capitalization doesn't actually matter in the code, but it is a proper noun, so it's good to capitalize. Great, now I'm going to apply to range. So the Mercury box is still selected, that's good, and I'll select my dark greens. If for some reason you leave a color out or you forget to code your answer box, which has happened to me, I made a video. You can just look for it on my channel or click, there's a video under here. It's hidden under that window. It's called Common Pixel Art Mistakes. It's a troubleshooting video and it'll show you how to fix a bunch of things that happen pretty frequently to people. So check that out if you need it. All right, I'm going to do my 3 steps. Hit OK. Done. Reset. So far so good. I'm going to keep going one color at a time. I'm going to speed up the video now and then we'll check in at the end and see how it looks. Right, so I'm all done and I left one little green one out. So I'm just going to find the code that has that color. There it is. I'm going to open the code up and then I'm going to add that green to the range. Holding down Control, adding it in, and then hitting reset. One thing I want to show you too is this one, opening the code there. For the row, instead of B, like the other ones, it was AC. And you can see as we cycle through these, the codes pop up on the right. So each one has a code associated with it if I needed to open up any of them. Now I'm going to close this window and we'll answer the questions and see how it looks as it's getting put together. All right, so here's our finished work. Quick note I want to tell you, obviously you're going to delete the answers before you give this to somebody. You should also make a copy of it before you give this to someone as well, because this version has been tampered with a lot, so it remembers the picture and it'll flash the picture at somebody when they go to solve it. So just make a copy of it and then send the copy to people that you want to work on it. So I hope you had fun with this project. Check out the troubleshooting video if you want help. And thanks for watching.